Are we live? All right, so we're back again for another episode for Aromatic Fragrances International, and I think we're at episode...
Big 20.
20. Oh, man, we're professional now.
Hey.
In the big leagues.
I know, we've made it past 19 live AFI segments, and we're here. We just want to take this time out and thank everybody for this long, amazing run that we've...
Yeah.
So with that being said, man,
we survived the first 3 months. We're golden.
Right. So we got two new employees, but we like to call them family members because I feel like I've known them for a long time. Well, actually, we've known her mom for a long time, so we feel like we know her for a long time.
I came in a couple times while she was here.
Yeah, don't remember you. I'm sorry.
Well, you can't forget me now. So.
No, just kidding. We got
That's
Katlyn.
a good way to make you feel warm. Who are you?
Yeah. What's your name again?
Yeah.
What department we work?
Great.
So we got Katlyn, we got Ansyl here live in the flesh. Thank you guys for joining the media team.
You're welcome.
All right. So we've, like we mentioned last week, we've been doubling up, tripling up. The company has been booming, and which also means media has been falling behind. So Josh was like, you know what? We've added bodies everywhere. It's time to add them in media, make the department super official. And I think I'm excited for what's about to come. I'm super excited.
Well, first off, I want to congratulate both of you for making it through the interview process.
Which was so rough.
So
Probably the hardest interview I've ever had.
we had a couple of rounds of group interviews, right, that went through.
I wasn't at a group interview.
The group
I wasn't
interviews
either.
ended, and we went back through those names, and we said, okay, so we got to start doing a round two, right? That's really what happened, right?
Oh.
And that's where I was telling you that we had to go back through and actually contact each person that didn't get the job. Those weren't made up people. Like, literally, we had to go through all
Was
the
there
lists.
I didn't
many?
know you guys had a group interview for
Yeah.
my position.
Yeah.
And her position.
Yeah,
Oh.
they told me about mine, though.
Yeah.
How did mine go?
Well, they're not
It was
here,
different.
so
Yeah, they didn't make it. Let's put it
did,
that
yeah.
way.
Oh, snap.
they just didn't fit the mode that we wanted.
I mean, here's what we
What we
found for you.
needed.
So we had people that had good backgrounds,
Yeah.
and had produced lots of different things, right?
Yeah.
But as we're looking through it, we were looking for a certain editing style that kind of matched what we were looking for the do-it-yourself videos and this, that, and the other. So like someone would show us a portfolio and it's like 40 weddings, and we're like, wow, this guy's really good at weddings.
Yeah.
But then we're like, but he doesn't have any cuts whatsoever that have a close-up on a bottle or a cutting board or someone doing something with their hands.
I mean, it was nice.
It was,
I mean,
that was good
nice,
work.
but
I'm not downing it because they were good,
Yeah.
just for what we needed. So then the next guy would come through and he'd be like really good at like special effects stuff, right? And you'd be like, oh, that's great. We'll never use any of that. Okay, next. So we were trying to find someone who was going to line up for what we needed, right?
Gotcha.
So that's the whole point of the interview. So then you came in and aced it, and your personality was good, and then we fit in the mix and tried to see, hey, what's his personality? Like, okay, he can do the job, but literally, if we're going to be working hands-on right next to you, what's your background? Is it going to work, right?
And we
then
actually
when
did
you
it
were
different.
I'm a comedian.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, oh, this is the guy.
Yeah, this
right?
is
And
it.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
I literally told like a half a dozen people after you left. I was like, my favorite thing was German said, hey, how old are you, right? Which is totally what you can't do in the interview, right? There's discrimination and
Come
all that,
on,
right?
man. I
I was
just-
like, dude, you can't answer.
I had to
He was
make
like-
sure.
He was like, and his answer was, I'm 26 and next year I'll be 27, right? I literally laughed about that the whole rest of the day,
Yep.
right?
But somebody that's not game to that or is not peeping like someone slick like that is gonna go over the head like, oh, okay, 26 next year, 27, right?
But you were forward thinking, you were fast, you were, and that's how usually we are, right?
Yeah.
So not all of our employees are that way, and depending on what the position is, like it requires someone that actually thinks on the fly,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I know if you could do that, like problem solving and figuring out how to fill in stuff, like, okay, he'd be fine.
Right.
And especially in the conversation, you could see the same thing.
Yeah.
So literally, we still had one more interview behind you,
No.
but we literally knew you're the guy, and we gave you the job before the other interview even happened.
So how did that interview go?
He actually didn't show up, so it
Yeah.
worked out.
I was just about to say that. I was like, what you
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, he probably GPS'd it. He was like, "Where's Carnival?" He's like, I'm in Decatur.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to make that trip.
So you left, and literally like 15 minutes later, one of the receptionist girls came over, and she was like, "Hey, they said they weren't coming, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, we picked the guy anyway."
Yeah.
It's all
So
good.
it's meant to be.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I told him like, cause I was like, look, you didn't even peep game, cause I was talking to him, but I was telling him that while I was talking, cause we was here, and normally we have in the conference room.
That's where mine was.
Yeah. But since
Yeah, so we were finalizing
Yeah.
it. So I was in here with you, and he was actually running the last person out of the group out.
yeah,
Oh, so there's a group interview right before me.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was with
geez.
the last guy.
So did you guys like purposely plan it so that you would be able to talk to me one-on-one because of my
No.
reel, or that's just...
It's just the way the time schedule fell out.
Oh,
So same
okay.
thing with hers. So we had a group interview, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't be there at 10 o'clock." She goes, "Can we set it up for another day?" And I said, "Well, what do you have going on?" She's like, "I'm at work." And I was like, "Well, what time do you work till?" She was like, 3. I was like, "Okay, be here at 3:30." She's
Okay.
like, "Okay, I
Came
can do
in.
3:30." So I did the group interview at 10. She came in at 3:30, and she's the one who aced it.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, I was telling him actually this morning, because I was just asking him how he's feeling and stuff like that. Like, is everything cool? And obviously, he hated it. He's like, I hate it here, and I don't. Not just kidding. No, I'll let him answer that. But I told him, I was like, you didn't even peep game when we was talking. I was talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, and Josh got behind you, and he pointed at you, and he gave me the thumbs up, and I said, yeah. Now that he came back over here, and I said, all right, man, we'll call you. And Josh was like, nah, he got the job. And I was like, yeah, he does. You got the job. Congratulations.
How long was your interview?
2.5 hours, I feel
Mine
like.
was a good like almost 2 hours.
I feel like it turned into a conversation at one
It
point.
No,
was.
that's why. That's why
Yeah.
we knew you guys
Yeah.
were it, because it started normal interview.
And then we just got
and
into
then
a
it
bunch
was
of
a
stuff.
conversation.
Just talking about
And-
life.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stress this enough, and I'm not just saying this because I got you on the spot or Josh
Yeah.
or whatever. I told Josh, like, look, man, we need the guy to be funny, because I can't be the only comedian. Not that I'm a comedian, but we say jokes all day long.
Yeah.
And it's just, sometimes I want to laugh. I want to laugh sometimes. You know what I mean? I can't just laugh a
Well,
million
I get
times.
that.
you can't be too serious. Like, okay, so we had the one guy that came in, and he was like,
Not that we don't take our job serious.
was-
We
he
just
was-
like to laugh.
He was complete straight edge and never smiled the whole time. So, like, literally, when you're sitting, you're looking at a guy, and you're like, okay,
He's looking like Putin.
if I can't get any expression out of him, how is he going to portray us to the public? He'd be like, okay, we can't use any of that. You guys smiled. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work. So
Yeah.
it was the whole personality was
Yeah.
missing.
I
So
had I
that's-
needed it. I was like, look, I need him to match my energy, because I'm all over the place. Y'all see how I work.
Yeah.
I think of 1,000 things and say even more things than what I'm saying. So I'm always like to the next, and I just needed someone to keep up with the speed and the energy. And you came in here. There was not one time you was at lost of words. I think just when I was like, I forgot. I probably said one funny thing, and you were like, and then it was. You probably had one thing but you so fast at responding. I was like, this is it. And then, of course, your editing is good. So, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
my editing is very
Because
good.
you can be cool, but if your editing's not that good, then you wouldn't have got the job.
It doesn't
That's
matter
true.
how cool you are.
Yeah,
Literally,
exactly.
the first thing he said to me when he walked in the room, he's like, "What's up, little Sheena?"
Yeah,
the
I
first
thought-
thing I ever heard from him.
Yeah, I was like, what's that little shit? And then, because as I was walking to her interview, Josh was like, I think this is Sheena. Sheena, if you guys go back to our Meet the Family, go back to like when we first started media, she used to work here, Sheena. She
My
got
mom.
Yeah, that's her mom. Sheena went to go be a manager at a nursing home, and she has a really big heart. And,
Yeah, she loves. So
yeah.
I threw her here trying to make her fit, but realistically, like, she liked dealing with customers and she liked that aspect, but she really liked doing more of the nursing, personal care,
Oh, she
personal
loves
attention.
those people at her job.
So she came to
Loves
me and
them.
she was like, and this was crazy. She goes, "Hey, I'm going to go full time at the other place, so I want to put in my notice." Right? I said, "Okay."
Wait, hold on. Normally, how much is a 2-week notice? Oh, wow. How long
just
do you
give it-
give a notice? 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
So
okay,
a
here
normal
it is.
person puts in a 2-week notice.
She put
right?
in
Oh,
like
a
2
month.
months.
She
No.
put in a 2-month.
No,
It was
a 3.
2 months.
It was like 90 days almost. She was like, I'm gonna go like in August.
Yeah,
it was
probably like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like,
It's adequate
I'll,
time.
I'll get the new person in, I'll train them, I'll get them up to speed,
Okay.
and then, I'll do whatever you need after that, because this isn't a rush thing, right? And that's what it was, because she knew she had a secure job here for as long as she would ever want. If she wanted to come back, I'd hire her tomorrow, and she can pull this video up whenever she'd like.
Yeah.
But literally looking at that, it was like, hey, I'm moving on, but I will do whatever you guys need in the meantime, right?
Which is like dope.
So she applied. So her mom didn't call and say, hey, my daughter's applying for the job. She just did it on herself.
My mom didn't know until after the interview.
Yeah. So
So I used to work there.
yeah.
And
Well,
what-
I was like, I wouldn't, because the name just sounds so familiar, and I didn't live with my mom when she worked here. I lived with my dad. And so we weren't really, like, close like that. And we didn't talk about work when we saw each other, you know. And so she called me while I was in the interview. And then when I got out, I called her back. And I was like, yeah, I think I just got the job for your old job. And she's like, at AFI? She's like, oh, my God, who did your interview? Who was talking to you? Oh, they're great. I love them. Tell them I said hey.
Yeah.
It was this whole thing. But she didn't know until after.
And he's the one that kind of recognized it. And he was like, wait, I think that's Sheena's daughter.
Well, this is what happened. So I did a search, right?
Yeah.
So there was really 3 different people with the same name as her in this area. So I'm like, chances are it's her, but there's chances not. So I don't really know. So when she came in, I was like, I'm pretty sure. But, you know, I can't just be like, hey, do you know somebody that you don't know?
Yeah.
So, like, as I had the conversation with her, I kind of saw, you're Sheena's daughter, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
and then I walked into the interview a little late after them. When I walked in, he told me, like, yeah, Sheena. I was like, oh, what's up, little Sheena?
Yep.
Yeah.
But at first, she was trying to act a little shy. She was like, hey.
That's everybody nervous. Yeah, you bring them into a room with like 3 people, and they're like,
I know. I was like, you're nothing like Sheena.
Well, you know how some people, they're always different, like, not at work? Like, everybody has a different personality, I feel like. Even just with, like,
Depends
certain
on the
people.
environment.
That, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Really? Because I feel like I'm the same everywhere I go.
I mean, probably, but I don't know
most
how
jobs are fake.
But I don't know how my mom was at work. I didn't know if she was reserved or if she was, like, you know, her normal energy, which is a lot.
Okay.
So I didn't want to come in and just be, like, crazy or something, you know. Like, I don't know how she was there. And when you were like, oh, you're nothing like Sheena, I was like, yep, she's usually herself everywhere.
Yeah, nah, Sheena was
She
Sheena, and
is.
everybody loves Sheena for
Yeah.
being Sheena. Yeah, but
She was, oh my
yeah,
God.
so I think her interview went great. I think we hired her right there on the spot too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 2 people we hired on the spot are you 2. Everybody else, they got to go through like 3 processes. Like, let me just make sure I really.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why
They're going to
I
watch this and be like, oh.
it was like 2 hours or 2.5. Because literally what we want to do is, one, you know, do you fall through the basics, right? You get through the basics. Now all of a sudden, okay, can you handle the job? Yes. Okay, will you fit with the group? Yes. Okay, so now let's walk you through it and really make sure that you want the job,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's one thing of, I need money, I got to pay my bills, but then there's 2, I actually want to do it, and I'm interested, and I want to be there long. Like, really, I don't want you to come in and be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this for 3 months till I find the next spot. Like,
Yeah.
it needs to make sense that you
We're gonna be here for a
understand what
while.
we're going to do, what the brand is, what your daily job's going to be. So you're like, oh, okay, you know, you're stuck in media, but no, let me specifically show you, like, this is what you're going to be doing. And if that's the one part that you hate, well, I'm not going to say, hey, well, I'm going to stick you doing that for 2 years. You're going to be like, oh, well, I like everything about video editing except for, okay, well, that we can work with and this lines up, right? And it was the same thing with her. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to be doing like all these videos and the camera's going to be in your face and you're going to be doing all these DUI, you're going to be making candles and soaps. Like, if you don't like making candles and soaps and you don't want to be on video, this ain't for you. So,
Yeah.
like, okay, in this area, you're going to be right here. You're going to be, oh, I want to do it. Perfect, right?
And we told her, I was like, all right, make a candle. I don't know how. I was like, that's cool, man. We'll show you.
No, but that, like, when we were looking it up and I was like showing them these cool soaps and stuff, they were like, yeah, you can make that. I was like, so you're going to let me, like, just sit in there and make this and then show people how to do it? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, say no more.
Yeah, they're like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this
So,
is my
like
job.
Fight Club.
And I told him today in the morning, and I was like, look, bro, when you come into work, I want you to come in wanting to be here. And if you're not wanting to be here, tell me why. And if there's something we can do to make it more comfortable, we can do that. But if it's because you just don't want to be here and you're just here because you got to pay your mortgage, like, this ain't because we lose track of time all the time here. We stay past the hours that we're supposed to be here because it doesn't feel like work all the time. Like, some days, yeah, obviously I got all this stack of paperwork and, I mean, it's work. Like, I mean, because there's still obligations.
Well, you can see it in the finished product.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't care about doing something, it's really evident that it was just done to be done, but it wasn't that I want to make sure it's perfect.
Well, I feel like especially for
Right.
me, since I'll be on camera, like, people will definitely be able to read, like, my body language and stuff, you know?
Your face.
So for me, I definitely have to be enjoying it.
Yeah, because we don't want you rolling your eyes every time
Yeah.
you put fragrance in the candle. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you feel about the job thus far? I know you're going to be here a couple
Thus
of days.
far,
Thus far.
a couple of days. What? Thus far, I will say this: when I interviewed for the position, and I asked if I could take a tour of the facility, that was my way of kind of trying to get a better feel for what I was getting myself into. Because I did actually have, I think, like 2 other job offers that I had been offered before our
One
interview.
solid, the second one a maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was this one.
Yep.
And
then you had to weigh it out. Which
well,
one?
no,
you think
I immediately when I saw you guys as soon as I came into this room to interview and I saw the podcast equipment and like this mic is like the standard for like the upper echelon of podcasters and stuff
so
like
you
that.
thought we knew what we were doing.
No.
Oh, okay.
I immediately knew that you were actually willing to invest
right, trying to do
the
something.
revenue
Yeah.
and the effort. Like I saw this, I was like, okay, they're trying.
Right.
All right. All they need is somebody who knows how to use the stuff that they have.
Correct. Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I'm trying to go to war and I go to your backyard and you have a tank.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay,
This
he probably
might
doesn't
be-
know how to use that,
Yeah, but he's got a
he's taking this pretty seriously. Okay.
It's not a tank, it's a new Tesla. We talked about that.
Disgusting. Anyway, so then, when I asked to like get a tour of you guys' setup, when I saw you guys were like strictly Mac, I was like, okay, cool. We're not on that PC
I thought
nonsense.
That's like, he didn't want that. He did not
I
want
lost that, but
Yeah.
yes.
I'm glad you lost it.
I mean,
'cause-
everybody in editor was like, look, if you're doing video editing and you guys are trying to do podcasts and you're trying to do graphics, Mac is just where you have to be. Like there is no, you can run the other way. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Some people do it, but it's very difficult. Why bother? Just
Yeah.
go ahead, do a Mac setup, and that's what you're
And
going
he
to do.
didn't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
He's like, every time he
I
clicked the
mean,
purchase.
thank you for fighting for that because I worked at other companies and they'll go PC just because they're cheap, and it's just takes more time, and time is money, so you're
Of
losing
course.
money in the long run.
Yeah.
When I saw all the cameras in the closet where you guys have your equipment and the lights and stuff like that, I was like, oh snap! Like if you give this to somebody who knows how to use it,
Yeah.
we
Might
can
be able to get
actually
some.
make
Might-
some like really good stuff here. The only
what have
problem
y'all been doing for a
we
year?
have that we need to overcome is this Canon
Yeah.
nonsense that's that's like
Hey,
recording
look,
us right
step
now.
by step, step by step.
Yeah, step by step. It's baby
It's a
steps. But you
process.
got me now, so now you know like
Hey.
okay, I like everything except for these cords.
Yep.
Right.
The cameras and stuff like that. I like how you guys actually have space to film stuff because I can't tell you how many startup companies very similar to this one that I've worked for, and they're like, "Ooh, we want to do this media stuff."
Here's your desk.
Yeah, and that's basically
And that's
it. Here's
it.
a desk, and I have to go film in like the meeting room or like the lunch area and stuff like that. And I've made it work, and I've made it look beautiful in the past.
Yeah.
But it's like you guys aren't going as hard as I would like for you to.
Right.
And immediately, when you guys were giving me a tour of the place, I was like, okay,
Yeah, we
these
set it
guys
up
aren't messing
to get it
around.
going. Yeah.
They're trying to go hard. So
Yep.
it's like, okay, this is the type of place that I could see myself being at for 5+ years and so on and so forth, because I actually I see the growth, I see the progress, I see the desire to actually want to invest into media to get to that next level. Because there's so
Exactly.
many clients who are like,
I want this one video, and then after that,
yeah, and I'll put it on YouTube, and we need for it to go viral. Like, I can't tell you how many customers. So I'm like, whoa. So you're telling me your whole business plan for marketing
It's hoping
is
it's going
hoping that this video goes viral?
Yeah.
Interesting. How we gonna do that?
Oh no.
Like,
I've had the same
what?
conversation like with German though, right? I'm like, all right, so I want us to kick out content, and I want it to be good enough to go viral, right? And he's like, okay, so he'll shoot something, right? And I'll be like, okay, honestly, just between me and you, right? And of course now we got the cameras going, but just me and you, right? What is the chance of this going viral? Like anybody caring enough that this is entertaining enough or has just enough thrust that it could go anywhere other than amongst our families watching in 10 views, right? And he'll be like, yeah, there's no chance. Yeah. I'll be like, all right, so if that's your point of view and that's my point of view, then why are we investing time and energy into it? Let's just scrap it and move on. I mean, I'm not saying that we're doing this so we can be popular and we're doing this for like this entertainment buzz. I'm just saying it should all have enough quality, right, of video, audio that at least, God forbid, all of a sudden the whole world turns at YouTube and says, I want to make this product that we have the best video, and it goes bonkers. Not people look at it and go, yeah, it's a little blurry, the shading's off. I mean, they're kind of telling us how to do it, but here's this other video that was done by this 13-year-old girl that's really clear and the audio is really good, so I'm just going to watch that one. right? So that's what I've always told him.
that's happened
Competing wise,
multiple
it's like we don't have to be the best, but I just want to make sure that we're at least competing at another level. So yes, I'll invest in whatever we need. We got to get started. We got to get it laid out. We've done a good job up to this point, but like you said, we've invested. We've got some equipment, but we needed someone to get us to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's where, I mean, you have 10 years experience. You're like, I'm a hustler. I've done this. I've done that. Everything lines up. It's like, perfect. This is the guy that we need to connect the dots.
And the key part, we all got along. It was
Yeah.
it was added. I mean, it was instant. I'm not saying we got a bromance. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm saying
but
we're cool.
But it's never one person that like changes things,
Yeah.
right? So it's like us sitting here as a group coming up with an idea. I mean, she's going to shoot some of her first videos. We're going to throw it up on the screen. We're going to look at it. And we're going to be like, yeah, it's good, but maybe your body language was off, or hey, could you stir that a little bit with your hand on this side or that side? It's critiquing little things, right?
Well, that's what I loved yesterday. We recorded the first one in there, and you can do so much in that big room.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yes, oh my
completely
gosh.
changed the whole thing of the video that was like before. And then we
Fire.
took it into that room, and everybody just sat around, and we pulled it up on the big screen. We all looked at it and talked about it. Like, how can we make it better? That was like my favorite part, was watching it at the end with all of us around.
It's like making
That
dinner.
for me was just cool. I don't know.
Okay, so that was like a good one, right? So we look at it and we're like, ooh, we like it. We like the color. We
You
like
try to
it.
say none of mine were
No,
that good?
no, no, no.
You see how you do me?
No. I'm saying what happens is, though, there's going to be certain videos that we
Oh,
throw
yeah,
up there,
yeah,
right?
and we're not gonna like.
You're going to like, I might like, you're not going to like. She may be like, I could have done this, I could have done
Yeah.
that. But I mean, you only learn from screwing up,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you don't learn from doing all good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have to screw up. And on the other side of that is you learn from your mistakes. As long as you're making progress, you're good. And I always give people a learning curve, right? So you're in a new company, know nothing about fragrances, you know nothing about what we're doing. So it's going to take you a month to even be like, oh, so this is how you guys duplicate fragrances.
Yeah.
Oh,
He had to
this is how
explain the
products are done."
candle process and why you guys do that to me like 4 times. And I was finally like, it took a good 4 times. So I was like, oh, okay.
But why
Now I
would you
understand.
know? You know?
Yeah.
But as you're here and you really learn more and more about the product, then you're like, oh, this is a really cool fact. So we need to make sure that that's in the video because no one else would know it and they'd be interested in it.
Well, I feel like it's just like with selling stuff. Like, you can't sell if you don't know anything about it.
True.
Right.
Like, for me, making this stuff and like being in the video, like, it's gonna help so much more if like people really start watching it and commenting on it, and I can't answer their questions because I don't know anything about it. Like, it's not gonna be interesting then.
Right.
Right.
So I feel like, because like for a good 20 minutes, German explained to me like like why we mix it, what it looks like, what it'll look like if it's bad. So I feel like when I went in there, I knew so much more about it. Does that
Well,
make
the other
sense?
thing is, we do it daily. So to us, we might just go over a step and just do it without explaining it. And you're like, whoa, why did you do that?
No, I over-explain.
No,
we're like-
German talked for like a good 20 minutes in a
Yeah.
row, repeating himself so many times.
Yeah, just because I don't want to say it again. Like, so, but I say it
But
again.
you do
but yeah,
say
I
it again. But it's not only that, like, while he's saying it, he's running around everywhere. So you're, like, trying to catch him to hear him. And he's like, he'll turn around and say, because I don't want to say that again. And I'm like, you're going to have to because you were way over there when you
Yeah.
said it.
And then I come back and I'm like, look,
Yeah.
why are we putting wax on there? Oh, 'cause we're gonna wax. I just said it. All right, we're putting wax because, and then I repeated myself. It's just, I be trying to do more than one thing at the same time.
Then he went to go record the first shot, and he was like, German, will you just stand and look at it? And German was like, yeah, I'm going to stand here and watch. So we go to do it, and German's like running around everywhere. And he's like, are you going to watch it? And he's like, yeah, I'll be there in just a second. He was like, it looks good, though, from here. And I'm like, you're on the other side of the room.
Yeah, and because German is known. I say German like I'm not German.
Third party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm known for but I also try to help everybody else. At that moment,
Yeah.
I was trying to get something for R&D because they needed something. And since we let them borrow, we buy a lot of stuff and we store it here. So like right now they're like, it's peak season. It's crazy. So they're duplicating a lot more than what they're used to. They was like, hey, can we get a big jar? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I was trying to help you, but like, hey, but we need some more wax. I'm like, oh, okay. And I go upstairs and I was trying to tell y'all what to do too. So that was that. But yeah, I ended up repeating myself like 4 times.
German's got a learning curve too because he's kind of got stuck in the middle, right? So, one, he knew media and he knew marketing just kind of from his background, but this is a new product. This is a new beast. So we kind of just threw him in the middle of it, right? And it's also the first time that he's actually managed resources. So then all of a sudden we gave him his own team. So then he had to learn how to manage people, right? So then that was a learning curve. Then he's been overloaded really for the last 6 months because he's been running understaffed. So we've been like, hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. So he's trying to do like 10 different projects. And he's like, okay, but I'm spending too much time editing because I'm not that good at it, right? Nobody has that strong stuff for certain things. Right. So he's spending half a day trying to edit one thing that would take you 15 minutes because he's having to learn it on the fly, right? And it's the way I've lived my entire life. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me figure it out. Because I don't want to hire somebody if I don't know what they're doing, right? So, I mean, I would try to do it myself, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to lose 6 months learning how to do programming, and I'd probably be okay, but it's going to take me 3 times the amount of time to actually do this small app. Or I can just pay somebody who knows what they're doing. They'll blow it out in like a month and be done with it. But if I don't know what it entails, then I don't know, right? So he had to learn, this is how I really should be doing editing. This is what I'm trying to do. Okay, there's a lot of tricks and there's a lot of stuff in depth, and I'm losing 3/4 of my day to it. Josh, I need to hire somebody who knows what they're doing editing so I can get back to the other stuff. And that's really what happened, right? So then I'm having a conversation with German, and I said, okay, that's great. But now if that's what we're doing, I don't want you to be standing over his shoulder being like, oh, we'll put this here and do this there and do that. Like, if this is what the guy knows, be like, hey, I need you to go out there and film this candle. And if you want, I'll go out there and help you stage and everything, and then we'll have her do whatever. But you're going to be editing it, so you know how we should stage it. Right. So I shouldn't tell you how to stage it. You should be like, hey, I'm editing it, and your lights are horrible, and this sequence off. So how would you set it up so it's better for you to edit?
Yeah, right? That's how it was. And I'm trying to learn, too, because I'm asking them, why'd you put it there? Yeah. Why is this light here? Because I asked a lot of questions, too.
Yesterday after you left, Adam was like, can we watch that again? And German was like, yeah. So he was over there going everywhere, and I was like, no, that button. And German's like, just give me a second. And he's like trying to pull the video up. He's like, I don't know how to use this. Yeah. And he pulled up the wrong video. Yeah. So then, like, all of a sudden, it was that, like, what's something you hate that everyone loves? And it's just playing. The whole time he's trying to find the video. And he's like, I'm trying, you guys. Just, like, trying to get it.
Yeah, you should call me and ask.
Yeah, no, it's because you have Final Cut.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to mess up. I didn't know if you had Save Your Project.
Like a preset or
something.
So
I did
it.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't want to close this. I wanted to open up another one. But I didn't know how Final Cut merges and stuff. So I was like, man, let me just make sure this is good.
He was like, I don't want to put, he was like, if I push this, you think it's going to be okay? It was like a very sensitive thing.
Yeah, I mean, also, I was trying to make y'all laugh too. I wasn't that I wasn't that.
No, he wasn't like completely stupid. Like it was not like it wasn't one of those.
I got you. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
He was just very cautious.
Thank you, Katlyn.
Got you.
Thanks for the rebound.
It's like you press one thing, and it's like export and delete, and you're like, wait, what?
And then like bro, you're an editor. I have something to my liking. I have it. Yeah. And then someone comes and I know they mess with it, but that's how I wanted it there.
Yeah, I left it this way for a reason.
Yeah, so I didn't want
I got you. And you come back and you're like, wait, hold on now. The audio's not synced to the lips, and now it's like a Kung Fu movie.
Exactly. Just like that.
Yeah.
But
I got you.
Just from what you've accomplished, and I know it's only been a couple of days, and you only did like 3.
It's my second day. But
yeah. Well, one time I said a few days. They were like, well, 1 is 1 day, a couple is 2. Right, so
it's not the end of the day yet. So I've been working here 1 day.
1 day, 15 minutes, and it'll be your official second day. Congratulations, you've made it.
Okay.
Yeah, right. But anyways, from what you've showed, I'm excited about where we're about to go.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah, he was speechless at the setup.
Right.
No. We watched it a couple of times, and Adam was like, well, I think we should be able to see the glasses in the back. German's like, no, dude, I really like what he did. It looks like it's sparkling back there.
Yeah,
he was like, I really like that.
Make it look fancy.
I
think
it
royalty.
Looks really good.
Yeah, me
too.
Thank you.
My favorite part is like the wood table, because I just feel like it's
that
like
wasn't
character.
planned.
That was a Josh thing.
No, but I think it looks really good.
Yeah, that was an Isaac thing.
Oh, yeah.
I bought the white table because I wanted the white, but when we were trying to film on the white, it didn't work, and then we had to go to the wood.
It was just so bright.
Yeah, because it reflects the light, and it's too blown out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Is that why you don't like shooting on white?
Yeah, because if you shoot on white, I'm not trying to sound racist, but if you shoot on white, well, actually, you shouldn't shoot. I'm saying you shouldn't shoot white, so that's not racist. But if you shoot on white, it just reflects light, and it gets blown out really easily.
So it's hard to control it.
Yeah, it's really hard to control it.
Yeah.
So I just personally prefer shooting on something. I mean, like, black can be good to shoot on as well.
Well, here at AFI, we use a lot of red.
Red is good too.
Let's get it.
Red is good too. I just don't like white walls.
Well, like
white
her doing it
tables,
herself. I mean, being that
white
wood background, that worked
t-shirts.
really good.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
I really liked it. I
But
thought
just
it was good.
all right, and I think this is your second day too. So just
It's the
if you
second
could just in a few words, how would you describe thus far, or how would you describe the future?
I want you to go
what
first so I
think
can
it's
go
about
off
to
of
be?
you.
Oh, you're gonna steal my
Smart.
answer? Okay.
Smart.
How would I describe my experience so far? That's the question.
And where you think we'll be, and how excited, or not excited, but like where do you see yourself 6 months here at AFI?
6
Where do you
months
see us
here,
now?
AFI. Okay, so describe it. Okay, first question. I'm sorry, one at a time. How would I describe my experience here at AFL?
5.
AFI.
AFI.
Yeah.
The other company.
AFL, that's like arena football or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
And
very...
the clean ones.
It's very enjoyable. I like the vibe here. It's very impressive what you've accomplished thus far, because it's not easy starting up a company.
Oh, yeah.
It has just the right amount of balance for, okay, we actually making money,
Yep.
but we're still
But not the
having a
red
good
tape and
time
corporate.
making it super corporate, taking it too seriously.
Yep.
So it's a very nice blend of both. So I guess balanced is one word that I would use to describe it as two things that I really want in a job, which is fun people able to enjoy it, not a bunch of snowflakes here,
Right.
but we getting money. We're about our business.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I like the commute from home, obviously. That's
Yep.
really nice. Where I see myself in 6 months. In 6 months, I would like to make a viral video,
Yeah.
which, we're going to make hundreds.
Yeah.
So one of them, all it takes is one, and it just,
Shit hit.
you know what I mean? And it just
Right.
takes off from there. So, yeah, I definitely see myself, and you don't take this the wrong way. Everybody has their own way of doing
Yeah,
things.
Yeah.
Of course.
But, me being
It's
a
hard to
subject.
offend me. It's very hard.
Yeah. We're gonna fix that. You know what I mean? I think because here's my thing. Like, if I explain why we're going to do things my way in a certain way, I actually explain why. And because, speech minor, and
yeah.
I feel like my communication skills are on point,
Right.
you'll eventually see, okay, that makes sense. And, if you have good points as well, then, I make sure to, take them and incorporate them. And sometimes I'm like, okay, he wants me to do it this way.
Yep.
I do it their way, but then I also do it my way. And then I can be, okay, here's
Compare.
yours,
Yep.
and here's why mine is better. And then you're like, oh, okay. Every
I
now
get
and then I'll do it my way. I'll be like, okay, he was right. Let me just dispose of the evidence. And we're not even going to have
Yeah.
that argument.
I'm not gonna lie, that
and
happens
that'll
to me
stay
more.
between me
Yeah.
and me,
That
So,
happens more frequently to me than I would want to
Admit.
admit.
yeah, it is just
Like,
like,
Josh, you know what you're talking about, and I go,
That,
you know,
that's
what are you
that's
talking
just
about?
part of that's just part of life. You know what I mean? There are going to be times where you're right, and there are going to be times that I'm right. And it's
course.
like, you
Yeah.
know, I like working somewhere with people who aren't afraid to admit when they're wrong, which I definitely get that vibe from you. You definitely gave me a very
Here's
just
what
a
we're doing.
self-made,
Here's why.
you know what I mean? You've been in the same position that, I've been growing up versus, Indigo Payments. They were two CEOs who were born into money, and
Yeah.
which I'm not trying to poop on people who are born into money or anything
Right.
like that, but
Yeah.
it's just
We all wish we were.
there's a lot more relatability with somebody who has a similar background to mine. So
Right.
oh, Josh got it out the mud. So,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, I love what you just said because that how many times have we had a conversation where German's like, I like this one. I'd say I like this one. And then we just dump it out and let people look at it. Right.
Yeah.
So whether it be friends, family, internal employees, whatever, we just call 10 people into the room and be like, throw it on the screen. All right, what do you like?
Yeah.
And they'd look at it and they'd be like, oh, I like this. I like that. I like this. Sometimes you were right. Sometimes I was right. But I mean, I told him at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if either one of us like it. Right. If everybody else loves it and we're like, oh, we could have made it so much better. We could have done this. We could have done that. But
Yeah.
they're all like, oh, this is great. Well, then we
Right.
were both wrong and post it.
it's great.
You know?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the
At
good
the end
thing,
of the day, it's all that matters.
but the good thing with you is since you already know, because you got the 10 years experience and you know what you're doing, that's where I didn't have that as far as He
Yeah, me
wanted to do
neither.
this. Yeah, because I can't be like,
So he can be like, I know I posted this 6 years ago and
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
hated it. Like,
Exactly.
just don't ever do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
That
Yeah.
angle's not gonna work.
Exactly.
Like
So,
that
like-
lighting's bad.
exactly. So we
Yeah.
try
You've
everything.
had years of rejection. We haven't had.
Yeah, it's
Right. No,
this
yeah,
is part of
yeah.
the game,
So,
like
like-
for real. Like
So we
We'd
have
rather
an
hire
idea.
someone with it than go through it ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we have an idea and we'll go shoot it to what we think is how to do it.
yeah.
We don't know.
How do you
And
think
then
I
when
learned
we-
how to shoot white?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, exactly. So then once we edit it, then he'd be like, I didn't like it. Yeah, it's frustrating. Like, man, we just spent 4 days. You know what I mean? But you know how to set it up. You know, even the podcast angles, they're different now. If you guys notice, the angles are a little bit different.
A little
'Cause I
cleaner.
didn't set it up. I want to say clearer, just different.
I know it's cleaner because you guys had your shutter speed
Yeah,
really
no,
high.
I know,
but,
I know, you see.
you know.
So,
Well,
like-
he goes, well, what do you want him to do on the first day, right? And I was like, well, we need to go ahead and set up the do-it-yourself candle setup, so why don't you do that? Or why don't you just give him some raw footage and let's see what he does with it,
He
right?
killed it.
So I'm sitting here driving into work. It was the next morning. And I was like, man, that's just so wrong. You're like, hey, we did this our way, and now let's see what you can do with it. When we really should have just said, okay, here was our concept. Shoot a blank concept, and let's see what you can do.
Well, because
right?
it's completely different from
Oh,
the
yeah.
other one.
Well,
Like, ev-
yeah. Well, we started a segment that we're gonna start. It's gonna be called Fun Fact Friday. And all we did was just grab a couple employees, ask them the same question. We just got some answers out of it, just to get to know us a little more. Because we did do meet the
Little
family. Yeah,
personality.
we did do meet the family, and you get to know us a little bit. But those were real work-related questions. This is just random, like what makes you happy? Food. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
shot this really like spontaneously. We set up 2-3 lights. We did it. People enjoyed doing it, and we edited. And we're gonna get ready to start releasing them. But they weren't just. We liked what we had. It just wasn't like wow. And not to say yours was wow, but you just made it better than what you had to work with, and you made it way more better, and it worked. Cause it was still like, and I just liked the way you put it together. I was like, and it was like little things. It's just small little things, but I just didn't have the mindset to do that. You
It's
feel me?
always the
yeah,
details.
And he did exactly.
Always the
and he-
details that make
Yeah.
something.
and even the way, like the transition, and it's like it's not even that different, but it is, cause one small little thing made the whole video way better. And I was like, yeah, that's it. So he did them.
we watched
he's
it like
working
a
on 'em.
good
Yeah.
6 times after you left. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
it was on
geez,
like
that's
replay.
funny. Yeah, it's funny.
Man, y'all should go onto my YouTube channel then.
Yeah.
So
You
you want to
should.
see some funny stuff.
Oh, we'll be fans. We'll
Yeah,
check it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Oh,
we
awesome.
will.
Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment and all that. So, you know.
What about you? What you think of it? Just to wrap this up.
I mean, kind of like you said, I love the environment. Like, I've never come into like, or even done an interview that lasted over 5 minutes. Like, had a real conversation with people. So that was like the first thing. And then just like coming in and doing the video and how like cool everybody was, but we still all got our work done, but we had super fun with it. And like I said before, my favorite part was in the big room watching it all together, like bouncing off of each other. And like, you can tell everybody can like handle constructive criticism. And I just feel like that's
We're
so
working on it.
important. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told him one of the first things I was like, look, bro, if I critique your work, it's not that I'm critiquing you, like you as a person. Like, hey, I don't like your watch.
But it's not only that, but like sometimes you may have like a point that you feel like oh, this could look better. I feel like sometimes you just need to see it because like I know for me, like sometimes I'll say, oh, I think it'll look better this way, and then they'll do it, and I can even say like, okay, no, never mind. Like sometimes you just want to
Yeah.
see it that way.
Right.
And I feel like that's like we're all doing that because like he shot multiple angles of the candle, and we only ended up keeping one.
Right.
But like we still wanted to see everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and like I said, it's just work. Like, it's not that I don't like your work. I just don't like what we did to this
Yeah.
project.
I think at first it's going to be like you'll have to prove it to us, like why you're shooting a different angle. You'd be
Yeah,
like,
of course.
what? And then after you show me like 2 or 3, I won't even ask anymore. I'll be like, what do you think? I think we should do it this way. All right, do it that way.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's really, and even at the beginning, I'm sitting here thinking I might second guess, but like you said, he'll probably never show me the other options,
Yeah,
so it'll be
so-
like, hey, this is what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
you
it.
were right.
Okay, move on.
Yeah, you're right. So, you know, here it is. Don't
No,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
sometimes
good.
what I did like of him, for the second thing he did, I was like, look, we just have this idea like this. And I just explained to him what it was. And it was real spotty. It was nothing like in concrete. Oh, then we can do this, and if we get this, and then we tie in this. And it was like a 10-minute conversation back and forth. Boom, we came up with a new project we're going to shoot next week. Or the week after that. So he just started, but he's going on vacation.
Yes.
I wish I was going on a vacation.
Well, anyway, man,
Unpaid
We'll get you there.
vacation,
Unpaid
though.
vacation,
So,
yeah.
you know.
yeah,
Don't
but
put
He
on
wasn't
me too
expected to
much.
hear, can you start working today?
yeah, no, he didn't. Well, actually, we asked him, and I was like, all right, can you start? He was like, yeah, when? Now? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I did say yeah, but
Yeah.
you guys told me to come back
The next
the
day.
next day.
Yeah,
But
right.
I was like, I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
forget
I say,
it. Like,
let's do
yeah,
it.
I'll
Y'all gonna pay
stay.
for
Well,
lunch?
I wasn't gonna be here right now. I mean, I still technically have another full-time job.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And she's coming afterwards, so thank you for that.
Well, you know,
Hustling.
I was talking to my brother, kind of, like what you were saying, and actually your background as well. But I'm talking with my brother, and he's a couple years older than me, right? We're sitting here having this conversation.
You calling him old?
I was like, no. I was like, I really enjoy going to work. Like, I like coming up with new ideas. I like dealing with new customers, new concepts. I mean, I really enjoy coming to work, right? And I'm not going to put my brother's name out there just in case someone links this. My brother was like, I have never had a job I enjoyed going to in the morning.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
I'm sitting there thinking, man,
that's rough.
you've been working for like 26 years, and you're telling me out of 26 years, you've never been excited
In the morning.
about going to work. Like, I mean, some of the projects that we work on the concepts, I'm like, man, I can't wait tomorrow. I can't wait to see what that shoot looks like. I can't wait to see what we can do with it. You know, I'm going to a trade show I've been looking forward to. I can't wait to see these 20 new accounts because I already know the people. They've called me. I can't wait to see their products.
I can't wait to see the money coming to the account.
The only
Like,
time
I
I've ever
enjoy it,
been
right?
excited to go to work is like if it's a holiday and I'm getting paid time and a half. I'm like, oh, I'm so
Hey.
excited to go get paid time and a half tomorrow. But it's never like, I just really want to go
I'm
to
gonna
work.
enjoy the process of
Yeah.
making that time and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not that. It's enjoying getting like that's the only time I've ever really been excited to
Yeah.
go to work.
We're excited to get paid.
We're going to
For
change
work.
that. We're going to change that.
Nah. Here is.
No, but like today I was at my full time job and they were like, I was like, okay, you guys, I really got to go. And they're like, you're really trying to get out of here. I was like, I really need to get over there. And I'm like, are they going to say something? Like, don't they know you have another job? And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. I want to leave here right now. Like, I want to go over there right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a dope
Yeah.
spot. We try to make it to where we spend a lot of time here,
Yeah.
and sometimes you spend more time here than your house. I'm not gonna be away from my happiness to be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make everywhere I'm at happy, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool here. I mean, sometimes it's stressful,
Yeah.
but other
But
than
I mean,
that,
like, just like every job, you know, you're going to have your bad days. But like he was saying, I mean, I've heard you never work a day in your life if you love what you do.
Yeah.
Rich people say that.
because it is. Yeah.
Rich people.
Yeah, because I work every day. Because I'm working right now.
Yeah.
I'm on the
But
clock.
no, seriously,
on the
like
clock.
the first 2 or 3 years I was in the industry, like I was like sweeping the floors, and I didn't see a career in it. And I mean, I was doing the job, but I was like, I didn't see the 20, 30-year run, right? But after a couple of years, a sales guy came up to me, and I was working in production, and he goes, "Do you like this industry?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm interested." And he goes, "I have bought several cars and several houses off this industry." He goes, "So if you like it, stay with it." Right? And when he told me that, I was like, yeah, whatever.
You never think that.
And then all of a sudden I started like seeing the people who had been in the industry like 10 years and like, yeah, they had like summer homes and they had like nice cars. And I was just like, oh, there's real money in this. Right? But it's just that do your time, learn it, enjoy it, get experienced in it. Right? So like when people talk to you about it, like you really know the industry in and out, there's money in it.
Yeah,
You'll be
there is.
fine.
Yeah, there is.
But just like with anything, I feel like you just have to be patient. Like you just have to, you know what I mean?
Well, some people are like, if I'm patient, I'll make more money. So if I just show up every day and just kind of like do the bare minimum, I'll make it.
Yeah.
There's average employees
no,
and then
but,
there's like
like,
killing it
yeah.
employees. Like the killing employees are the ones that get paid the good money. And then average employees, I mean, they still get raises and they still get paid, but not as much as the people
Yeah.
who are like killing it. Yeah.
So start killing it, guys. Because I'm
With
technically
fire.
the manager, so if y'all make good money, I should technically at least make a little bit more. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, so you guys kill it, so I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can really be killing
Yeah.
it. Nah, just kidding.
Yeah.
Now, first you learn, you fall in love with the stuff, what you're doing, you enjoy where you're at, and you're right, it doesn't feel like a job. You get your money every week in the bank account. Life is amazing. Thanks for joining AFI. And we like, around here is an inside joke, we like to say AFI for life.
Yeah, like literally, like usually when I interview somebody, like looking at you, I can kind of sum up like how you're going to be. Like, are you going to be a 1 year, a 5 year, like a lifetime? And on your mom, I would have done your mom as a lifetime. So I was surprised when your mom actually changed.
Well,
right?
I think she would have been if they wouldn't have offered her. And the only reason that
It's
she got
'cause
offered
she
that
liked the
position
other
was
type of
because
job.
someone else had stepped down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that one, I was wrong. I would say you, even though you're only a couple days in, as long as I keep seeing the optimism and like what you're enjoying, I see you as being a lifer. And you, I know you're saying 5 years, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to make you into a lifer. I think you'll get in here, you'll start knocking some video. We'll do one of your virals, and you'll be like, oh, if I can do this over and over and over, and this is my job, and he gives me the authority and freedom to actually use my own judgment, then this is what I want to do. He's giving me my own studio setup. I got my own people working for me. I'll kill it, right?
See, but I
And that's
see
what
him like as a lifer, but I also see him with like side gigs.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I mean,
do always
I
say
see
you
him
gotta
with
be a
like,
hustler. You gotta be a hustler.
yeah, I see
Yeah.
him as
Yeah.
like I need a week off because I'm like flying to Brazil to do this editing thing.
Oh,
Like,
I could
for
see
sure.
that.
I see him as like with a
Yeah.
bunch of like cool
Yeah.
side
Get
gigs.
it.
That's
But-
what I see.
Yeah,
I would never
going to
limit
Brazil
something.
for
Yeah,
a gig.
no,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Yeah.
Like
No, but
I see
listen,
him
good.
here for life, but also doing other
Yeah, no,
cool
but listen,
stuff.
I told him too. I was like, bro, here, I do stuff outside of work too, and there's never been a nah, you can't go do that because you got to do this. As long as I'm taking care of this and whatever here is lined
Yeah.
up, yeah, I can go do that. He's like, no problem. Like he has another business too. He's like, why would I stop anything? Like
You never
all-
want to slow, like if you're covering it, but you're just that good, why would I want to slow you down from you being able to handle something else?
Yeah.
Right. So there's several other people that are doing consulting work for other firms and doing other things on the side. I mean, to me, the main goal is that I give enough information to the employees that all of them start their own businesses. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, you work for me, I'm going to take care of you, you're going to make good money, but you're not going to make as much money as owning your own $10 million company.
That's all my mom could say.
Right?
Whenever she'd bring up your name, oh, Josh is the one. Josh will take care of everybody. Like I
Yeah.
love Josh.
I mean, so you know, I want you to like your job, enjoy it, go as far as you can, right? But let's say you've been with me 10 years. If you're making $60,000, $70,000 a year, you're happy, I'm happy, but you're like, man, you know, if I could start my own company, I could make $300,000 a year. I wouldn't be like, oh, don't go start your own company. I really need you. Great. You start your own media firm, and now all of a sudden you're one of my, I'll be your first customer, right? So
Yeah.
now you're killing it. You're still launching it. You're still working for me. I'm still getting all the same content, and now you're doubling up. Why would that affect me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
a lot of companies don't look at it that way. They're like, oh, no. I want to repress them. I want to keep them as mine.
Nah,
and that's
chill.
it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Even
right?
with Isaac made the cartoon, and we still outsource to him all the time. Like, hey, can you get Josh Cartoon to be doing this? Yeah. You send it out, and that was an ex-employee, left in good terms, helped us with our branding while he was here, and then he went off to go do his thing. Cool. Like he wasn't upset. He came in, he's like, yeah, man, just you always got a door open here. Whenever you want to come back, it's cool. But because while he was here, he did his thing, and he
Right.
was respectful.
So he
and
gave
put
us
it-
a big stepping stone
Yeah,
to get
for
us in
sure.
the right direction.
for sure.
And then he branched because he wanted to do freelance work and he wanted to start his own thing. That's not a bad thing. Like, I mean, I understand that should be the general practice. But what happens is sometimes the grass is greener on the other side.
Sometimes.
And we've brought a lot of people back
That's
because,
very true.
yeah, they were talented, they were good, they wanted to try it. Great, knock it out. You need anything, let me know. And then they called back and they were like, hey, I need to pay my rent. Okay, come on. You know, it's not like, oh, come back for 6 months. I mean, even if it worked out that way, that'd be all right. But I don't ever want to limit someone's growth. To me, that's selfish, right? I should be able to be a resource, help people out, and then get them at the next level.
And then look, the more we grow, the more you grow, the more you grow. And like you said, you're talented enough to direct people to do something. I could just create the idea. You can actually put it together. So then we start doing multiple videos at once. You can't shoot them all. Now we got to recruit more people.
Right.
And then you be, you know what I mean? Just
Here's
keep
the
climbing.
worst thing that happens when I hire somebody, right? So you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job. And I say, okay, you guys need to hire somebody else, right? So I'm there for the interviews, and I see the people that apply for the job. And you two are like, oh, we don't want to hire Billy because Billy's better than us,
Nah.
right?
No.
But you see that a lot,
No, yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Because people are like, oh, if I hire this guy in, then this guy might take my job, right? And it's like, no, everybody should learn from each other. It should be a group thing, right? Everybody should be redundant. And you should be teaching him. He should be teaching you. You both should be on Google. You should be learning other things. You know, if there's other things that we need to pick up and we need to like social shakeup where we go try to figure out what's working, what's not working. I mean, that's just all of learning together as a group. But other companies aren't that way. They're
Yeah,
like,
that's a fact.
oh, I'm not going to teach him anything. He's an idiot. Why'd y'all hire him? Get him out of here. No.
Not here,
I mean,
no.
like, even if she started struggling, right, for whatever issue, you'd pull her aside and say, hey, look, this seems to be a problem. I need you to try this. I need you to try that. Let's work together. I'll do a couple with you. Let's see what's going on. And this is the format. Okay, that takes like a couple of hours, and that gets her back on the right direction. Like, that's what you do. You don't walk in like, hey, you're an idiot.
Well, I feel like sometimes, like, when people are going through something, it shows in their work. And you know how some people, like, not to get on, like, a depressing level,
Yeah,
but you know
that's
how
Here
some...
it goes, the
Yeah,
downward spiral.
Hey, cut.
No, but, like...
Cut, Adam, cut. Just kidding.
I don't mean to tank this
Yeah,
podcast.
I don't
but
I don't mean to switch the vibe all the way.
But I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
No, but, like, you know how sometimes somebody's just going through something and, like, they just want someone to notice. And then, like, you come to them and say, like, hey, I noticed, like, that your work is doing this. Like, sometimes people just need that. And then, like, they're back on track, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, people cycle. Yeah. They're in a rut. They're doing the exact same thing over and over and over. And you have to walk up to them and
that
this
happened
is
to us,
just,
yeah. To me,
typical meeting with an employee. You're like, hey, you were doing great a couple months ago, and all of a sudden you seem to be falling off. Do you need help? Do I need to help you with something? Do you need more resources? What's going on?
Yeah.
And you're right. It's usually a personal thing. Well, my wife left me. The dog died last month. I'm hoping to rebound. I mean, most of the time it's really what it is.
Yeah.
It's just some personal
And sometimes
issues
somebody
that go
just
through life.
needs to talk. And, like, once they do, they're like, I feel better. I think I can do it again. And they just get back out there.
Kaylin, make sure you find somebody to talk to before you clock in because we don't got time for that right now. It is peak season and we ain't got time.
Well, luckily I have a full-time job before this, so I can just let it all out there.
I'm just kidding. As you can tell,
That's hilarious.
we love to talk here, man. We good. It's all good. As long as we get our job done, we're good. I think we hired the right people, and we're going to continue to hire the right people. Well, we're going to try
We're hoping to hire the right people.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah.
to try to hire the right people, and like I said, it's going to keep going. And the first thing I told him was like, look, man, you're better at all this than me, so you don't got to ask me for advice. Like, I'm coming to you so I can see how you're doing it.
That's what he said when you set up the new thing. He was like, I was thinking in my head, like, I don't think this is going to work. And he was like, the second we started shooting, I had to swallow my pride.
Yeah.
He was like, because that looked good
Heck yeah.
when it was
Yeah,
playing.
thank
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you
appreciate
got to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and then it's like, and I work better when someone's like, hey, man, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
And then so I try to tell you all the time, like, bro, that's fire. Bro, that's fire. But when it's not, I'm like, hey. I mean, like today I told you, like, hey, I kind of, that lighting not going to pass. All right, cool, I'll fix it. All right, cool. And then we just continue about our ways. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
2020.
Yeah, man, it's about to be crazy. Yeah, we about to be in it. Yeah, it is.
I'm liking it.
Facts. All right.
And he's
we
coming
out.
refreshed after vacation, so we ought to be good coming into the New Year's.
Yeah.
I'm coming back with the fire and the fury and the.
Let's do it.
Bring it.
We're going viral in 2020.
Right, just don't
I got to work
forget-
before this, so.
Oh, right. So if you guys are excited to see what we're about to create in 2020, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell button, and you'll get all of our notifications. You'll see all of this amazing work, right?
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, hey, if I fly, this was episode 20. I can't wait till we shooting 300. Like you said, it's gonna be crazy.
It's coming.
Has anybody seen Josh?